Business Book Summaries. Hello there. Today, we're going to explore the book Money Master, The Game by Tony Robbins, a well-known figure in the United States who inspires and helps people unlock their potential. Tony Robbins started from scratch and became a billionaire by teaching people how to succeed and wisely invest his own money. He also collaborated with experts from Wall Street to create investment tools designed for regular folks. In addition to his achievements, he has written several best-selling books on achieving financial independence, available in various languages. But that's not all. What really makes Robbins stand out is his impressive network of contacts. He doesn't just give talks and workshops. He also advises influential individuals such as Bill Clinton, Serena Williams, Leonardo DiCaprio, as well as numerous successful entrepreneurs and Wall Street experts. When Robbins wrote this book, he didn't just rely on his own knowledge. He tapped into his extensive network and had in-depth conversations with 50 of the most prominent figures in finance, including Ray Dalio and Warren Buffett. These were not casual chats. They had lengthy discussions. Thanks to Robbins' excellent communication skills, he managed to get these financial experts to reveal valuable insights about how they manage their money and offer tips for everyday investors. The book delves into Robbins' one-on-one conversations with these financial giants, and Ray Dalio's insights, in particular, were eye-opening. Dalio shares an investment strategy that readers can practically copy and apply, something he didn't extensively cover in his own book Principles, Life and Work. We've previously discussed Dalio's Principles books on our channel, so you can check that out if you're interested. While the book is substantial, it's well organized. It's divided into 7 parts that guide us through 7 steps to creating a lifetime income, all aimed at achieving financial freedom. Robbins defines financial freedom as having investments that provide a steady income for life, allowing you to pursue your passions without the need to work solely for money. You can still work, but it's because you love what you do, not just for the paycheck.
Before we delve further, remember that we regularly share new content. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Business Book Summaries and hit the notification bell for the latest updates.
In essence, if you work for money, you become its slave. But if you work for your passion, money works for you. So, how can we achieve this? Let's explore the 7 steps outlined in the book. The first step is straightforward: save more money. The author suggests setting aside at least 10% of your monthly income for investments. We've discussed this in other books, so I won't go into detail here. However, there's a useful tip worth mentioning: how to save more without feeling the financial strain. The book introduces a clever trick from Nobel laureate and behavioral finance expert Richard Thaler. The trick is called Save More Tomorrow. It involves automatically saving 10% of your monthly paycheck and committing to increase your savings whenever you get a pay raise. This way, you won't feel like you're sacrificing by saving more. Now that you've saved some money, the next step is to invest it wisely without falling for investment marketing hype. This brings us to step 2. Don't get fooled. The book debunks 9 common myths about investment marketing. In essence, it emphasizes 2 important takeaways. High rewards don't always mean high risks, and you should focus on smart money opportunities where the risk-to-reward ratio is in your favor. This concept sets the stage for the rest of the book. The next important lesson is that actively managed funds are often a waste of your money rather than a path to wealth. To illustrate, a staggering 96% of United States mutual funds failed to perform better than the overall stock market between 1984 and 1998. This trend isn't limited to that specific period. It's a recurring pattern. David Swensen, a respected investment expert at Yale University, even suggested to the author that the actual number might be even worse than 96%. Why? Because when we examine past performances, we're only looking at the funds that survived. The ones that were closed down are not factored in. Additionally, these actively managed funds typically come with substantial fees that eat into any potential gains you might make. So many prominent figures in the investment world recommends sticking with passively managed index funds. These funds are not only cost-effective, but also allow you to follow the market's performance rather than attempting to outsmart it. This means you're on the winning side, growing as the market grows. Esteemed individuals like Warren Buffett, David F. Swenson, and John Bogle from Vanguard have all emphasized this point to the author. But there's more to this story. When we mention indices, we're not just talking about stocks. There are indices for various assets, including commodities, real estate, short-term bonds, long-term bonds, and even gold, you name it. Each of these can potentially be a part of your investment strategy. The question of what percentage each type of index should occupy in your portfolio will be addressed in more detail when we discuss asset allocation in steps 4 through 6. Moving on to step 3, it's all about planning. Think about it. You wouldn't embark on a road trip without a GPS, and you wouldn't pursue a career without a plan. Similarly, when building your wealth, you need a well-structured financial roadmap. This plan should encompass 2 primary aspects: your financial goals and the means to achieve them. So, how do you establish these financial milestones? The book outlines 5 levels, and this was a real eye-opener for me. We often toss around the term financial freedom when discussing financial goals, but for many, it can seem like an unattainable dream leading to frustration. What's intriguing about this book is that it provides you with 5 stepping stones to choose from, allowing you to aim for what feels right for you. The first step on this ladder is what we call financial security. At this level, you have enough to cover the essentials, things like your mortgage or rent, utilities, food, transportation, and insurance, even if you're not receiving a paycheck. If you can also treat yourself to occasional indulgences like clothing, fun outings, or spa days, you're moving up to the 3rd level, which we call financial independence. The 2nd level serves as a transitional stage between the 1st and 3rd levels. You're at this stage if you can cover the basics and still have a bit of money left over for some enjoyable extras. Once you've secured your essential living expenses and some spending money for fun activities, you'll reach dream money. This encompasses practical aspirations such as taking that dream vacation, upgrading your car, moving to a nicer place, or even more ambitious desires like owning a yacht, a private jet, or starting your own charitable foundation. If you can fulfill the practical dreams, you've achieved financial freedom. That's the 4th level. And if you're living out even your most extravagant dreams, welcome to the peak level 5, absolute financial freedom. Let's simplify this with an example. Imagine Tom has a monthly mortgage of $600, spends $300 on everyday expenses, and allocates another $200 for fun activities. To achieve that 3rd level goal, which is financial independence, he'd need an annual income of $13,200. Now, how can Tom reach this $13,200 without clocking in at a regular job? It has to come from his investments. Let's say Tom decides to invest his money in a low-cost stock index fund. According to the expert in index investing, John Bogle, we can expect an average annual return of around 6% from the stock market between 2020 and 2030. If we take that 6% and do some quick math, Tom would need a nest egg of $220,000. In simpler terms, once Tom has saved up $220,000, he should be able to generate an annual income of $13,200, which will cover all his bills and leave some extra for fun. Keep in mind that the 6% is just an approximate figure we're using for easy calculations. As we dive into steps 4 through 6, and you design your own investment portfolio, you can fine-tune these numbers based on your specific situation. Additionally, we've only calculated Tom's finances to achieve financial independence. But what if he wants to aim higher and start checking off some of his bucket list dreams? In that case, he'd need to factor those aspirations into his annual expenses as well. The author reveals that when helping students plan their finances, some set ambitious goals, like owning private jets, islands, or even buying sports teams. The idea is to enjoy unlimited travel, yearly island getaways, and VIP seats at every game. Consequently, some individuals end up targeting financial milestones in the hundreds of millions. However, the author offers a reality check. You don't necessarily need to own these extravagant items to live a high-end lifestyle. Renting a private jet or taking annual trips to tropical paradises can provide similar thrills. The core message is to focus on the life you want to lead, not the material possessions you want to accumulate. After all, you can't take these possessions with you when you're gone. So remember, it's not about accumulating assets or hoarding cash. It's about the experiences, freedom, and opportunities that money can enable in your life that should be your ultimate goal. Once you align with this perspective, you might find that living your dream is more affordable than you initially thought, possibly even a fraction of your initial estimate. Now that we've covered the financial calculations for our money goals, if you feel like your goal is quite distant, how can you speed up your progress? The book's advice is pretty straightforward. Earn more and save more. Here's the bottom line. Investing is not a quick fix. It's a long-term strategy. It's like planting seeds and watching your money grow over time, helping you reach your financial goals faster and continuing to generate income even once you've achieved those goals. So, what's the game plan for investing? Well, steps 4, 5, and 6 in the book cover that, and we'll bundle them together for now. I've read plenty of finance books, but this one is exceptional. Why? Because it's essentially a playbook that perfectly combines the give you a fish and teach you to fish philosophies. Investing is a two-step dance. It's about what you invest in. That's asset allocation. And when you invest, that's timing. You'll often hear a lot of noise in the market about buy low, the right time to jump in, double down, or cut your losses. These are all timing strategies, attempting to predict where the market is headed. However, this book takes a different approach. It says the best time to invest is when you stop worrying about timing. Set up your investment portfolio properly and systematically, and then either let it grow over time or keep adding to it according to a well-thought-out plan. Trying to time the market, like catching lightning in a bottle, is challenging and exhausting, especially if you're not a Wall Street expert. But here's the key point. Timing is not even the main focus. It's all about asset allocation. Every investment guru, no matter their style, sings the same tune. Asset allocation is the key to long-term success. Even Warren Buffett, often called the Oracle, emphasizes that his job is all about allocation, not timing. David Swensen, the financial expert at Yale, stresses this with his students, highlighting that asset allocation has the most significant impact on your returns. When you factor in the fees and commissions from buying and selling investments, it becomes even more vital. However, the thing is, professional investors may have a knack for timing, but everyday investors like us are often playing catch-up. So, if you're not a seasoned pro looking to compete with Wall Street experts, your secret weapon is asset allocation. That's why it's crucial for us to focus on getting our mix of assets right. You might think asset allocation is a complicated highbrow topic, and in some cases, it can be. Attending a finance class or opening an investment textbook can inundate you with jargon and equations, even overwhelming industry pros with complex models. But guess what? This book simplifies asset allocation. It makes it understandable. It introduces a straightforward framework called the 3 buckets. First, there's the safety bucket. Think of it as your financial fortress, rock solid and defensive. It contains the least risky assets, like cash, money market funds, bonds, and even your retirement fund. Next, you have the growth bucket. This is where your money can stretch its legs and aim for growth. We're talking about stocks, real estate, commodities, and even art pieces. The main goal? Boosting your investment returns. 1. Here's the important point. The author isn't advising you to put all your money into one place, like a single stock or bond. 2. No way. 3. The strategy is to spread your money across a variety of index funds covering everything from stock and bond indices to gold and real estate investment trusts. This approach is about reducing risk while aiming for higher returns. 1. Have you ever heard of the Nobel Prize-winning economist Harry Markowitz? He once said diversification is the only free lunch. This book demonstrates how to enjoy that free lunch in style. 2. Wondering how to divide your money between the safety and growth buckets? It's a personal choice. 3. If you're on the cautious side, you might lean 70% towards safety and 30% towards growth. 4. If you're feeling a bit more adventurous, a 50-50 split could be the right balance for you. But wait, what about that mysterious third bucket? Right, let's meet the dream bucket, a game changer in this book's strategy. Robbins encourages us to set aside a small, achievable portion of our money to chase our dreams instead of waiting for someday. Think of it as reserving a modest 3% from your monthly income for this bucket. And don't forget those pleasant surprises, like a bonus or a stock that takes off. Allocate a portion of those windfalls to this bucket too. It's a clever trick for those who hesitate during a bullish market and miss the chance to sell at a profit. The best part? The dream bucket isn't a savings account you crack open only in your retirement years. It's your fun money cash you can enjoy whenever you wish, giving you a taste of the good life that your hard work and smart investing can provide. So now, it's clear that managing your money should be broken down into 3 buckets. The safety and growth buckets are your mainstays for building up investment gains, striking a balance between playing it safe and aiming for growth. Essentially, Step 4 and Step 5 of the book revolve around getting your mix of assets right and setting up a steady income stream. However, let's be honest, many do-it-yourself investors may still be scratching their heads, wondering, all right, but how do I actually implement this? That's where Step 6 comes into play, learning from the experts. This part could be considered the book's crown jewel, as Robbins shares valuable insights from top-tier investors that you won't easily find elsewhere. For instance, Ray Dalio provides a blueprint for a rock-solid investment portfolio. He's known for his successful hedge fund, which boasts impressive returns, but has a high entry requirement only the wealthiest individuals with a net worth of $5 billion can join, and they need to invest at least $100 million. Yet, with some persuasion from Robbins, Dalio, the book's author, decided to create a more everyday investor-friendly version of his asset allocation strategy. This was a significant development when the book was published. His strategy is quite straightforward. Allocate 30% to stocks, 15% to medium-term United States Treasuries, with 7 10-year terms, 40% to long-term United States Treasuries, with 20-25-year terms, and add 7.5% in gold and 7.5% in commodities. Simple as that. If you're considering adopting this investment plan, there are a couple of key points to keep in mind. First, don't concentrate all your investments in just a few stocks. Opt for stock index funds to diversify your investments. Second, don't set it and forget it. You need to rebalance your portfolio from time to time. For example, if the stock market had a stellar year and your stock investments now make up 40% of your portfolio, you should trim them back to the intended 30% by year end. This rebalancing should be done at least annually. This approach isn't exclusive to this particular plan. If you're managing your own mix of assets, it's crucial to maintain it over time. The book tells us that this is another way to mitigate risk, spreading it out over time, a practice favored by many experts. Balancing risks isn't as simple as splitting everything in half. Dalio argues that a 50-50 division between stocks and bonds isn't a true balance. Why? Because stocks are like a roller coaster ride compared to the more stable bonds. They're about 3 times riskier. Surprisingly, if you go 50-50 with stocks and bonds, nearly 95% of the ups and downs in your returns are driven by stocks. So, you're essentially allowing the stock portion to shoulder almost all the risk. To achieve a real balance, you should reduce your exposure to riskier assets. Dalio also discusses the idea that every asset has its day in the sun. He points out that there are only four significant game changers for asset prices: inflation, deflation, the economy speeding up, or slowing down. Think of these as the four seasons of investing, with each season favoring different types of assets. However, Dalio acknowledges that predicting the next season is as challenging as predicting the weather. So what's the solution? Build a portfolio that can weather all conditions. This is the genius behind his all-weather portfolio. It's like an investment umbrella that works in all seasons. Tony Robbins got hold of this strategy in 2014 and did some calculations. The results were impressive. Over the last 40 years, from 1974 to 2013, this portfolio was in the green over 85% of the time. It broke even in just 2 years and had minor losses in only 4, with the largest dip being less than 4%. On average, it delivered A. Rule 2. Never forget Rule 1. Dalio's all-weather portfolio is all about that safeguarding your hard-earned money. But there's more to the story. Tony Robbins didn't stop with Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio. He also had sit-downs with investment titans like John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, corporate raider Carl Icahn, brokerage magnate Charles Schwab, and the legendary Sir John Templeton. For most of us, a chance to meet just one of these experts would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, if this sparks your interest, you'll definitely want to grab a copy of this book. Head over to the comment section where you'll find a link to purchase it, particularly to dive into its 6th section. Now, we've reached the grand finale, the 7th and final step to secure a lifetime of income. Up to this point, we've been discussing how to build a financial cushion. But this last step unveils the ultimate secret of wealth, and it's all about living fully, giving fully. Here, Tony Robbins reminds us that the true treasure isn't the money sitting in your bank account. It's the joy and passion you discover in life. Money isn't the ultimate goal. It's a tool that allows you to lead a happier, more fulfilling life. This chapter truly showcases Robbins' ability to ignite and motivate, revealing his authentic, high-energy passion. We've all heard the saying, money can't buy happiness. But let's not kid ourselves. It can certainly make life more enjoyable. The key lies in how you choose to spend it. Harvard professors Elizabeth Dunn and Michael Norton authored a book titled Happy Money: The Science of Happier Spending. They provide scientific backing to what many of us instinctively understand: spending money can indeed make us happier, but the secret is in how we spend it. First, prioritize experiences over material possessions. Whether it's traveling or picking up a new hobby, experiences often bring more joy than buying another gadget or adding to your wardrobe. Second, use your money to buy yourself time. If you dislike doing household chores like deep cleaning or fixing plumbing issues, why not delegate them? Spend your money to free up your time for more fulfilling or profitable pursuits. Lastly, and this is a point Tony Robbins emphasizes greatly, is the act of giving. Multiple scientific studies mentioned in the book reveal that giving not only provides emotional fulfillment, but also tangible benefits for our physical health. Winston Churchill once observed, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Tony Robbins echoes this sentiment, arguing that the key to true wealth is generosity. Research supports this, showing that the happiness we derive from buying things for ourselves is short-lived, lasting only a few minutes or hours at most. However, when we buy for others, even something small, the happiness we experience endures much longer, often for days or even weeks. What's surprising is that this joy isn't limited to giving to people we know. It's actually amplified when we give to strangers. Studies have demonstrated that the happiness derived from helping or giving to strangers is 10 times greater than that from assisting familiar individuals. Robbins notes that it's no coincidence that many of the world's wealthiest individuals, such as Carnegie, Rockefeller, Buffett, and Bill Gates, have turned to philanthropy. They've recognized that genuine wealth in life stems from the happiness generated by giving. Consider Andrew Carnegie, for example. He's a classic example of a man who amassed his fortune in the first half of his life and dedicated the latter half to philanthropy. He even authored an influential article titled The Gospel of Wealth, which was later expanded into a book. Nobel laureate Robert Shiller regards it as essential reading for all his students. Now, you might wonder if it's easy for the wealthy to be generous, but what if you're struggling to make ends meet? Tony Robbins has a story for that. Growing up in a financially disadvantaged family, Robbins still vividly recalls receiving an anonymous gift of a Thanksgiving meal when he was just 11 years old. This small act of kindness had a profound impact on him. Starting with modest efforts, he began providing meals to families in need. What initially began as helping 2 families a year has now evolved into a foundation that provides a staggering 50 million meals annually. What's more, all the profits from his books are directed towards charitable causes. Robbins emphasizes that you don't need to be a millionaire to make a difference. Even small, thoughtful acts of kindness can create meaningful ripples. Indeed, giving extends beyond material wealth. It encompasses contributing your time, emotional support, and simply being there for others. Generously offering these to family and friends generates a different kind of wealth, one that's emotionally fulfilling. To sum it up, the book proposes a 7-step plan for building a lifetime of income. 1. Increase your savings. 2. Be aware of scams. 3. Plan for your financial future. The following 3 steps, 4 through 6, wise investing, securing a steady income, and learning from financial experts are closely interconnected. The 7th and most profound step is to savor life and be generous. Finally, I'd like to share some inspiring lines from the book. Investing should bring you peace of mind. Sacrificing your well-being for money isn't a trade-off worth making. The secret to wealth is simple. Become more valuable by doing more for others than anyone else. The more you do, give, serve, the more you'll earn. Life is not only an adventure, but also a joy-filled journey. Discover both adventure and happiness in the people you hold dear and the sparkle in your child's eyes. Opportunities for joy are everywhere. The core of life isn't what you gain, but what you give. What you receive may offer fleeting pleasure, but the joy from who you become and what you contribute is enduring.
We're keen to hear your thoughts on our content. Feel free to share your opinions or recommend books in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Business Book Summaries and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest summaries. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.